Can we sit back here and say Nairobi is now fully developed, the president has worked, Central is fully developed, he has worked, the coast is developed. So these are the same things that William Ruto is doing.
But at least there are projects which were launched in those areas.
The point is, if these are development tours as they are meant to be, or that they are being marketed,
Yes.
you'll be seeing a significant change in the quality of lives that the people are living. If he thinks that standing on top of motor vehicles and shouting will give him votes, so be it. He can try it. But we do believe that the Kenyan people are asking for an economic solution to their problems. And Safina Party is that vessel that is all about the economy. It's about economic liberation and economic independence of the people of Kenya. So yes, it's good to build the hospital, but is that the end of it? That now we should celebrate because we've put up a hospital. You just changed the name of Jaramogi from level 5 to level 6. Now that is the end. It should be about people accessing quality healthcare services.
A very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evan Sokenyi. I'm glad that you're here with us on Kenya's most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show. I'm joined here by my resident guest, Wakili Willis Otieno, the Deputy Party Leader of Safina Party, and of course, a constitutional lawyer and governance expert. Wakili, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Yes.
A lot has actually happened since the last time that we had a conversation on this very platform. Well, of course, we've had the loss of the Kasipul Member of Parliament, Honorable Charles Songondo Were and all that. But most importantly, the president is on some sort of a development tour in the Nyanza region, particularly right now in Migori, and making all those visits. First of all, may I get your comments on the loss of this Member of Parliament that has actually caused a lot of mixed reactions and divided opinions among Kenyans and even constituents from that particular area?
The first thing I'll say is to pass my condolences to the family and the people of Homa Bay for the loss of Ogai. He used to call himself Ogai Mamilambo.
Yes.
And he was an interesting man to interact with. And I had occasion on several times to meet with him. And he always told me, come and join Chama Kubwa, as he used to call the ODF. And I will jokingly tell him to come and join Safina, to go and join the Noah's Ark, the ark that Noah made to save the people of Kenya. So, I mean, it's quite unfortunate the manner in which Ogai lost his life. And it's onerous upon the state to get to the bottom of what actually transpired. And it's also quite sad that there are political undertones that informs this tragic event. And despite your views on who Charles Songondo was, whether you liked him or not, he doesn't deserve the kind of death that he faced. And it's important that as a country, we need not to throw under the carpet these tragic events. Be it a member of parliament, or a Gen Z, or just a normal citizen. Every life matters, and the state needs to get to the bottom of all killings, done by civilians, done by police. And we are inadvertently creating a very dangerous culture in the nation, where people die, and as that useless member of parliament from Northeastern said, we sympathize and move on. We cannot sympathize and move on, because in sympathizing and moving on as they purport, you are just creating the next death, the environment for the next death. Because if there is no accountability, there is no due process that is followed for these occurrences. It gives an appetite to these criminal elements in our society to do the same. And so in my view, I think it is right for the people of Kenya to demand for justice for the family of Ongondo. It's also equally right to demand for justice for the young people, the Gen Z, 80 of them plus, who were killed, all manner of deaths that we witness in this country.
Okay.
The Kware killings, they need to get justice.
Talking of how Kenyans have actually been reacting to certain high-profile loss of lives in this country, what do you think has actually driven us here? How did we get to this point, such that whenever we lose a member of parliament or somebody of maybe a different kind of stature in this country, then you'd actually more or less gauge the kind of sentiments that would come from the public? How did we get
because
out here?
it's the disconnect.
Why should we get out here?
It's an unfortunate disconnect because the political class or the political leadership has, in a way, failed to pay attention to events that occur to the masses. There is a disconnect between what the political class is doing for themselves and what the masses want to be done to them. And when you see young people being killed and abducted and there's no accountability, there are no measures done to remedy that, it gives an unusual but unnatural reaction that when something happens to the political class, then you see like almost what an unfortunate event, like a celebration from the masses. People actually throwing mud at the political class. But the unfortunate bit is that we are all Kenyans, even those in the political class. They should need to understand that they are part of this Kenyan society. And when any of them is killed, it's the same as even if another Kenyan is killed. And when you demand accountability, it should be for all cadre, be it in politics, in business, in ordinary life, civilian life. We all are humans, and any wrong done to any of us, irrespective of the cadre you belong to, needs to be redressed. And the political class are now living in a silo. They are not attuned to the true feelings of the people of Kenya. Hence, you see the unfortunate reactions by some Kenyans. It is not, in my view, that Kenyans have lost their humanity. It is just Kenyans expressing their frustrations and displeasure with those in political leadership. But the onus is on the political leaders to retrospect, introspect, and find that this is actually not the right thing that should happen in the country. And they need to be attuned to the feelings and the desires of the people to change their path. You need to have a Saul to Damascus moment and find where the rain started beating us. Because we've had political deaths before in this country. And the reactions of the people has always been to show sympathy with the bereaved. It is quite unfortunate that now we are witnessing some section of Kenyans even celebrating when a leader loses their lives. But that is not where we need to be as a country. We're in a very bad place, and we need to change.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, of course, the security personnel in this country are on the trail of individuals who are suspected to be behind that kind of heinous act that was meted on the Member of Parliament for Kasipul constituency. Of course, we are hoping that justice will actually prevail at the end of the day. Wakili, I want us to get straight to what is actually, I don't know whether it's politics or something thereabout, but then they call it development. I understand that the president is in my home county, that is Migori County, and of course he's been on what they call development tour. We've seen this all over, but at this point, he's having a number of leaders from that particular region accompany him. We have members of the cabinet, the CS for Treasury, John Mbadi, the likes of Opio and I, all these people are here. And of course, what they're saying down there is that they are tired of playing the politics of being in the opposition. And I even saw one of the dailies record that it is our time to eat. And you look at how people are talking down there, all those leaders are actually expressing themselves well. I don't know what you make of this, but first of all, let's begin from there. What happened in Migori? Ruto'S tour, and of course, the Shuka, Zakayo kind of stuff that has sent Kenyans into frenzy over the social media platforms. What do you make of his visit down there? For you, is it truly for development?
You know, the first thing you must appreciate is that barely 2 weeks ago, there was a similar development tour in Central. 2 weeks before that, a similar so-called development tour of Nairobi. There was another one that was done, I think, in Western. So are those areas developed?
There was also another one at the coast.
At the coast. So are those areas developed?
Maybe he's looking at the
progress. No, are those areas, the question that you should be asking, are those areas now developed? Can we sit back here and say, Nairobi is now fully developed, the president has worked, Central is fully developed, he has worked, The coast is developed. So these are the same things that William Ruto is
But
doing.
at least there are projects which were launched in those areas.
The point is, if these are development tours as they are meant to be, or that they are being marketed,
Yes.
you'll be seeing a significant change in the quality of lives that the people are living. Because ultimate development is about the quality of life that people live. So has there been any significant change positively in the quality of lives that people are living in those areas? It has not.
Okay.
So why do you waste time discussing what is purely a political campaign and call it development tour?
Okay.
Because I'll assure you, Ruto is in Migori today. Next week you go to Migori, it will be the same. You will go to Homa Bay, it will be the same. I think end of the month is going to Migori, to Homa Bay. It will be the same. Those are just photo moments. But it is right to do it. No one stops him. It is right to go and do it. That is how he perceives the country to be.
Okay.
But the Kenyan people are the wiser. They can see through the charade. And the unfortunate bit is that colossal sums of taxpayers' money is spent to host those delegations and to run those trips. Money that could have been used to provide other essential services to the people of Kenya. And I will not be surprised that maybe part of those frustrations is what leads to shoes flying in some of those forums. Unfortunate as it is. But you cannot lie to people all over and over again. Tell them the same lies, try to gaslight them that you're doing something, but there's nothing you're doing. But it's right to not do anything.
Talking of the shoe, what is your real comment on the same?
I mean,
What actually
those are Kenya Kwanza and William Ruto's shenanigans. I'm not interested in what happens in his rallies. Those are his demons they're dealing with. I don't have to comment about what happens or how people react, whether it was a shoe thrown, it was a different camera angle. Kenyans don't care. Kenyans care about the economy. And they want to see an economy that is working for them. Make this economy work for Kenyans. And you don't even need to do a development tour.
A shoe being thrown at the President of the Republic of Kenya, doesn't that scare you, kind of?
You know, what you should be asking yourself is, why did he even find himself in that situation? And what happened? It will scare me that an incident will happen to the President and I didn't see any security measures that are meant to protect him. Because they continued as if nothing had happened. You get that? To me is what should scare me, that the response by the security team was not as you will expect. When such an incident happened, you'll expect that there's more that will be done to secure the safety and security of the President. I didn't see it. That is what will scare me. Not that someone has thrown a shoe. Irresponsible as it is, but we invest in our security to protect him. We will expect the security to see the security in full force, ensuring that there is safety of the holder of the office of President. I didn't see it. That to me is what will scare me.
The Kenyans who are reading so much into that kind of incident, and they're saying, look, Kenyans are tired all over. Do you think that would be the case?
Of course, people express their frustration in different ways. It may be that somebody is just frustrated with William Ruto and whatever he does. Even though that doesn't give you the right to throw a shoe at somebody. If you don't agree with somebody, keep away from their political or public engagements. You have a right to keep away. You don't have to appear there and throw a shoe at anybody.
Okay.
You can always express your displeasure in different ways other than throwing shoes or stones or bullets. That is not the way it is done in civilized society. Just in similar fashion, it is not right to kill a young man because he is demonstrating against your policies. It is not right to kill, neither is it right to throw a shoe to show your displeasure at what somebody is saying or doing.
You're saying that this tour is political. Let's talk of it. What do you think that perhaps this time round the people of this particular region would be convinced, if at all it's political? Then we would assume that the president is trying to woo these people on his side come the next elections. Do you think that he may actually be successful in his kind of...
I mean, he can try. That is his right to try to convince the people of that region.
Okay.
But just as in equal measure, it is the right of every other political leader to try to convince Kenyans, including people in that region, to vote for them. As a Safina party, we are very clear. We'll also go and campaign in that same region and campaign on the economy and give an economic promise to liberate the people from these economic chains that we are currently
Okay.
undergoing. So if he thinks that standing on top of motor vehicles and shouting will give him votes, so be it. He can try it. But we do believe that the Kenyan people are asking for an economic solution to their problems. And Safina Party is that vessel that is all about the economy. It's about economic liberation and economic independence of the people of Kenya.
What do you make of a section of members of the cabinet engaging in political rhetoric at the same time with the president down there?
They are defending their jobs. They don't seem to understand that they are now serving Kenyans in an partisan way. But it's also their right. Those who are previously politicos, who are holding political offices. That is what their DNA is about. So they will also wish that the president is re-elected to get another term in cabinet. That's also their right to do so.
Okay.
But the jury is out there. The jury is the Kenyan people. They'll be able to see and sieve the wheat from the chaff to tell what has actually worked and what has not worked. And these things, you don't force anybody. Let the best ideas win. See, they are there. William Ruto is there as president. The cabinet members are there as cabinet. What are they campaigning for? They're already there. Why can't they do that which they want? They're asking the people to elect them to do.
Okay.
They can as well do it. No one has stopped them. And let the people decide if it has worked. So be it. If it has not worked, the people will decide.
Talk to me about the sentiments that are talk to us about the sentiments that were made by Honorable John Mbadi. He says, look, we have to change our political trajectory as a community. That is what he was saying. And assuming that right now, because according to them, it's like they are in government, and therefore that entire region should assume that they are in government. They are saying that they're tired of playing the politics of opposition, and therefore they would like to bring more development to their people. They've cited the likes of that, of course, the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Hospital in Kisumu that has been raised to a level 6 hospital therein. He's saying we cannot actually continue in this particular
That is
direction.
legacy politicians talk.
What do you make of that?
Understand it this way. That's legacy politicians talk. When were they not in government? Didn't we have handshake here the other day and they were part of that handshake? And they used to sing Uhuru Kenyatta praises everywhere. Were they not part of the Grand Coalition government with Kibaki? Were they not part of Moi's cooperation agreement in government? So when were they not in government? I mean, let's be honest, but that is political talk. Legacy politicians will try to convert this to become a tribe. So they use their personal ambitions or quests and turn it to be a community interest. When has Luos never been in government? They've been in government through and through. Even before they joined the broad-based government, Akinowalo were there as government. Are they not Luos? So communities are never in government, it's individuals.
Okay.
But in Kenya we have an elite, elite groups that try to hoodwink the masses, that when their position is secured, then the position of the entire mass is also secured. So they try to make their personal quest to be about community's interest. It's not. That's elite capture. The elites don't represent the rank and file and the masses, but they try to manipulate you. And we need to liberate the mind. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery.
Okay.
Okay? Don't listen to what legacy politicians tell you that I'm in government, now the entire community is in government. You are in government, yes, as an individual, or your political party. But that doesn't mean that you represent the entire community. And Kenyans need to now start asking basic questions. Okay, fine, you're in government, but what are the policies? But you see, legacy politics wants you to vote on tribe. But the new world order wants you to vote on issues. That's the order that Safina Party represents. We want to vote on issues, discuss our engagement in politics on the issue that we represent. It's an issue that affects all Kenyans. I told you last time, there's no special shop for Luos that now they're in government that they go and shop from. There are no special recruitment job agencies for Luos because they're in government. We still have so many Luos who are unemployed, jobless, but qualified. We still have so many Luos who can't afford healthcare services because Chief Shai is not working at optimum. We still have so many Luos who are out of school because they can't afford school fees. We still have so many Luos who sleep hungry, even in Sando, even in Ugunja, Sigomeri. There are many.
Okay.
All these people are there. So you cannot say that because an individual is in government, the entire community is in government. That individual and his political party are in government. That is accepted. They are experts in that government, as they call themselves. So work on delivery.
Okay.
And when you deliver to all Kenyans, not a tribe. Otherwise, The other tribes which are in government, you go to Sugoi today. There's somebody in Sugoi who slept hungry last night because they couldn't afford food. There's somebody in Sugoi who's jobless.
But several of them.
And you want to tell us that you're in government now, you are happy.
So actually, when they talk about roads, they talk about hospitals, they talk about markets, industrial parks, and all this. Don't you see that all these things are to the benefit of the people somehow?
I've told you, ultimately, look at the economic policies that the government has come up with. You may put up hospitals, the level 5 hospital, level 6 hospitals.
Yes.
But are the people able to access that care, the healthcare services? Yeah. We have Kenyatta here. How many people are languishing in Kenyatta right now? They can't afford the cost of healthcare services. So, yes, it's good to build the hospital, but is that the end of it? That now we should celebrate because we've put up a hospital. You just change the name of Jaramogi from level 5 to level 6. Now that is the end. It should be about people accessing quality healthcare services.
That's what they're saying, that with the change, there comes more resources, and therefore people would actually...
and I've told you, this is an example, Kenyatta here has been level 6 all through, National Hospital. Are more people getting healthcare services because Kenyatta is level 6?
Not really.
Many Kenyans still can't afford healthcare services. So elevating is good, yes, I accept. Investing more resources on those facilities is good, I accept. But that can't be the end. That can't be the goal.
Okay.
The goal is about quality healthcare services to the individual. So you cannot say the goal is about putting up the facility. The goal should be about access to healthcare services to the individual as the goal. So that elevating it just becomes one way, a path. Kitting the health centers and dispensaries, another path. Employing more healthcare workers, another. You get?
Okay.
So you cannot say that you've done one activity, that's as if that was the goal. That was never the goal. The goal, which is the vision, is that you want to ensure that all Kenyans are able to access comprehensive healthcare services. But I told you, William Ruto and his people, they are operationists.
Okay.
They are operation officers. They are not vision bearers. That is why an operations officer will celebrate and shout loudest for an activity. But a vision bearer like Safina will tell you, no, we are working on comprehensive healthcare services to everybody, to every individual. So we'll be celebrating milestones that achieve that, not activities that are done in furtherance or in the quest to achieve that comprehensive healthcare services.
How do you intend to bring people from that particular space of legacy politicians to right now where you're saying here that we must look beyond the small goodies that are thrown at us?
You know, when we started this show, we didn't even have one support.
Yes.
We've now done 1 year, and many Kenyans are now engaging with our conversation. And more Kenyans are now starting to have this kind of conversation. That they are critically analyzing their leaders and those who aspire for leadership. And they're asking the right questions. Even go to the comment sections. People are raising these questions. And the more we keep engaging, the more we talk, the more we have these conversations, the more and more people are changing.
Okay.
They are now, their eyes are now open, and they can see beyond the gaslighting by legacy politicians. The legacy politicians are in serious problems because they are dealing with an awakened generation.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from Wakili Willis Otieno here on another episode of the Candid Talk. Weigh in and tell us what you actually think of the president's tour of the Luo Nyanza region, beginning from Migori County. Do you think that these are actually development tours? Will they bring any sort of benefit to the people down there? Allow me to stop for now till we have this conversation again. Have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans Okinyi.